Hello guys, welcome to another video. Today I think it's going to be a good video. We will go through how should you attack and into RedGreen Luffy, and how does this deck work, and why there is specific directions and ways that you should be attacking that hurts them more than other. So this is a general list. That's a pretty good list. Like, I mean, the concept of the deck, you know it. Okay, like they just want to freeze your things and leave 5 Dawn open so they can use their Dawn to counter. So before I go into, please consider giving this video a like, subscribe. I will try to keep more unique content like this for you. And also check out in the description, there is a link, Skepas G5. You get 5% off Sleeve Chief. And you can also check my socials. I post my deck list and everything there. But yeah, so in this video, I will explain to you how the deck works, how does the leader work, and then we're gonna cut into some clips on lethal attempts, on how people should be attacking, and games that people in the caps lost before, that they had lethal if they just attacked the proper way. Yeah, so let's jump right into it. Number one step is, how does this Luffy leader effect work? Okay, so our opponent here attacks, okay, can attack, and they can go 100, they can go, let's say, I don't know, 9 with the leader, okay? You would think it's really good, or you can go 10 with leader, right? NL, because if you go 10 with leader, they will just have to use a few dawns, right? But actually, because of the timing that how this deck works, if you attack 10 life here, right, what ends up going to happening is they're going to use 1 dawn for leader effect, okay? They're going to go +2, and then they're going to play charlstone. They're going to play charlstone. They're going to discard a card. Oh, wait, on top 3. Wait, what? Oh, yes. Then they're gonna discard a card, and they're gonna tap 3 dawns. And now you are in the same spot, and as you can see right now, okay, they cannot use dawns right now. Their window of using leader effect is gone. After charlstone, they cannot use dawn anymore. So now they countered your 10k hit, with no upside, right? They counted it without you gaining anything. So then you continue. Now you would go, I don't know, like your effects, right? You would go your effects. You would go event here, buff this. Then you would go, let's say you are the NL, right? You would go event, -1, buff here, pop this. Then you would go this, tap 2, tap this. It doesn't really matter, right? And then you would do your NL effect 1 time. You would minus this dawn, and then you would go leader effect, and now you would put all dawns on this character, right? And then you would go all in with this NL, right? And now, because of the way you attacked, they can go 5 dawn, right? The charlstone again does not do anything. Charlstone again does not do anything, because if you use charlstone, you can't use the dawns after. They're gonna go choose 5, right? And then they're gonna go +15, right? And then they can use some counter and they will survive, right? So 1 charlstone here does nothing. So, okay, how could we have done it? Team backed, so I had to switch it a little bit. So, but we continue, same scenario, okay? So we could potentially go, like I showed you in the example, 10 with leader, then they would use charlstone, right? But what we can also do is we can go 5 with leader, or we could go 7 with leader. And what is the difference? If you go 7 with leader, you're forcing them to not get value from their leader effect, right? And you make it more likely that they will use a counter from their hand if you go smaller, instead of using the charlstone, because your goal anyway is to is to, wait, let's remove this from the equation just in case so that it's a bit more clear. So your goal anyway is to push one big hit to make them not able to use their dons, right? So if you go, again, if you go 9 here, right, they will just use a don and charlstone. But if you go, let's say 5 or maybe 7, right, it's more likely they will go don, 1 don, and then 1k, right? And if they do that and they didn't charlstone there, you can now punish them because of the timing. And you can go, I don't know, like event, then event, and then you can go leader effect. You know, you can continue searching because you can find some more spells, let's say, because you have leader effect, right? So you can go event, and okay, if you don't find a buff spell, you can go leader effect, dons here, then all dons here, and look at what the difference is. Now, because it's 16, right? They can do only 4 dons plus the 2 1Ks in hand, or they can do charlstone plus the rest. The difference is if you charlstone, right? So if you use 2 don, okay, so 2 don plus 4, then no blocker, charlstone to discard to plus 4, discard this and untap 3. Okay, now they cannot use their don anymore because the window for leader effect is gone. And now they died. Well, if you swung first 9 or 10, they would have done exactly what I showed you in the scenario before, and they would exactly survive this here because they would have 1 don and 1 more 1k extra in hand. So it is very important. And as the RedGreen Luffy player, what you should do is when they go 5 or 7 and they have 1 big NL, you should use the charlstone first. That's why the 5 is good, because then you force them to charlstone a 5, you know, or a 7, because then the cost is 0 for you. But the point is, you don't want them to use charlstone. So if you know they have charlstone, you should go 5. If you don't, you should go 7, because it's the good middle ground. Because you don't commit anything in case they have charlstone, and in case they don't have charlstone, they still have to use don plus a card or 2 dons, right? So it's the good middle ground, because at the end of the day, you don't want them to use charlstone, because now, as you saw, the charlstone was stuck in your hand. It was the same as just using the 2 dons. So yeah, that's it. That's how it works. Leader effect happens first. So just make sure, if you're going for game at 0 life, you attack the small hit first, make them hopefully use a don, and then the moment they use the don, you can go 1 very big hit, because it makes all charlstones in their hand invalid. Okay? Because then the charlstones in hand don't matter anymore. If they have a charlstone in hand, it's the same as if they just use don. Right? It just does nothing. So yeah, you will see some examples now of exactly how that works, like in-game, of positions that I explain on stream, how you should be attacking. That it's exactly game situations that people had game and they chose to attack in a different way, which made them lose the game. So yeah, please give this video a like, and thanks everybody for the support. I will do my best to continue giving content out for you, good content out for you, and yes, enjoy the rest of the class, let's say. Don't forget that face is the only place. Seems like you guys really struggle with the RedGreen Luffy math, okay? Like, people just really don't understand how this RedGreen Luffy deck works. Okay, so just stay here. I will explain to you how to do it, because there is, like, this deck has a very clear weakness, and once you realize the weakness of how the deck works, that you can really exploit the way you can attack into them. Yeah, so what we're gonna do is, so listen to what happens. Okay, so we have 6 don, we have 6 don, yeah, we have 6 don, and we have a 10k, an L, and a 5k leader, and they have 5 dons. Okay, they have 5 dons. This Luffy won tonight. Okay, So we go 9k with leader, okay? What happens? Let's see it. Okay? So we go 9k with leader. And what happens? Look at this. Okay? What happens to this 9k? They go dawn. They go dawn. Okay? And charlstone. Okay? Dawn, charlstone, and a top 3 dawns. Okay? You see this? So they pitch 2 cards. They pitch 2 cards. They pitch these 2 cards, which is the charlstone plus the dawn. And this attack gets removed. Right? Does that make sense? Even if it's up to, it's 3. Yes? Now, what would have happened if we went 5k live? What would have happened if we went 5k live? You think? Okay, thanks, Blue. 1k, then we won. If they 1k, we win. If they don't, we also win. No, what he needs to do is play charlstone. He needs to play charlstone, chat. Why? Because charlstone, yes, is 2 dawn plus 4. But also, 2 dawns are plus 4 with this deck. So in one swing, charlstone and 2 dawns you have open are exactly the same amount of counter. So, us going 9 here, yes, or 5 is exactly the same. But the 5 gives them a chance to go for dawn or 1k, which makes you win on the spot. Because now, right? Let's do it. Where is it? Because now we go back. Where is it? Now you are here. Where is it? 6 dawn. Now you are here. I will refresh it. Okay? You see this? Yes? You go 5k with leader. Then he uses a dawn or a 1k. Okay? Or a dawn or a 1k. And now you go the same thing he did and then 17k with an L. Yes? Now he has 4 dawns and a charlstone plus a brick in hand. But the charlstone and the 1k, they oh, there is ads. I'll wait. Yeah? So, yeah, it's automatic. I don't know. So, what happened? Yeah? We went 9 and then we went 16. But how this leader works, okay? How this works is he would have 1 extra dawn, right? Because we would have 1 dawn and then leader effect would happen, and we would put all these 5 dons on the NL, and we have still a +1 from the spell, from this spell here. Okay? So this would be 17. So what did we find out? They would now have charlstone plus brick. Okay? But as I explained you, yeah, charlstone in one swing or just tapping the 2 don is exactly the same. Why? Because after the charlstone, they can't use leader effect anymore. So by tapping 2 dons to play charlstone, it's the same as they use 2 dons. Okay? Whether he... Assuming he 1 don the 5k and he would 4k charlstone for the 2 don plus 10k for 5 don. They can't leader effect after charlstone, of course not, because the leader effect is gone. That's all I'm trying to explain to you. So, okay, so what does he do here? He goes, the dons, which be the same, right? Right? Because he would, whether he charlstones or uses the don is exactly the same. And he goes 1, 1, and look. He had a 1k and a brick in hand. So if this NL, like we explained, was a 17, and he used a don or a counter on the 5, yes, you win. Correct? So he had lethal here. If he went 5 first, and this Luffy didn't charlstone, which literally no Luffy will charlstone, 17 would be exactly lethal. Yeah? So 5, if they use a don, and the reason why this is good, chat, okay, it's because if he uses charlstone here, okay, you can minus some don, and if you draw the 1 cost Shura, okay, if he uses charlstone and you get Shura, you tap 1 don, yes, and you play Shura, then you put 3 don on the Shura and go 5 with Shura, and then you win even if they charlstone. Because all you need is 1 attack extra in with your remaining 5 dons. So if you went 5 and they did charlstone because they played properly to leave 5 open don for free, right? You still have the way out from this to draw a Shura and still go 5. Yes, if they charlstone the 5k and you don't draw Shura, you lose. But it like, do you understand what I'm explaining, chat? Why would we ever go 9k instead of 5 if they both give us the same result? Which draw? Huh? Dummy blocker was the draw. You understand now? But if we find pump spell instead of Shura, we also win, right? No. You need to find an extra pump spell. Because he found a pump spell. You need more. You need to make them use a card. So here, a 5 and a 9 give the same result. And actually, it's not the same result. Because the 9, they will always charlstone, while the 5, they are more likely to 1k or leader effect. And you want them to 1k or leader effect, because your only out is this all in with this NL. So actually, not only 5 is the same as 9, 5 is just strictly better than 9, because it gives you more dons to keep options open to follow up the 5. So if NL swing 5 with leader, he would have won. Correct. If NL swung 5 with leader, this Luffy should have charlstoned. And then we have to draw Shura to win. Does Luffy always have to use his Dawn first so he can first hand counter and then use Dawn? No, so you first use Dawn so that you can then use... why Shura again? I don't know how else I can explain this, chat. It's too hard. If you go 5 and they charlstone, right? Here, they don't use any Dawns. They don't use any Dawns. So now they have 5 open Dawns. And now you have 5 open Dawns you cannot do anything with because you still have leader effect. Shura is the only character that's rash that can get you a swing for free in. Because you can play Shura for 1, then put 3 Dawns on it and go 5, which asks a card. And then you can still minus all the Dawns and swing fish 17 with this NL. So swing small. No, Rene, you're wrong. Swing small first to not force the charlstone and then swing big after. Yeah? Last time. 5 and then all in with this. 17. So small first so they don't use the charlstone and then the all in. Because on the all in, they lose the value from charlstone. Basically, charlstone is a dead card in hand, right? Because it equals the 2 Dawns, right? So charlstone and the Dawns are the exact same value if you swing 1 big hit. If you play Shura, it's 5k with Shura. Yeah, doesn't matter here. It's just the extra swing. Yeah, so small hit, force a card, and then 1 big hit, which makes them lose the value from the charlstone. Why Shura matters? Shura matters only because you get value from your Dawns, right? Because your leader, you only need 1 Dawn to get maximum value from this. If the charlstone first, we leave 1 Dawn. No, you leave all Dawns. Holy shit. I don't know how else I can explain this to you, chat. It's very hard. It's very hard to explain this in an easier way. You have all Dawns open. You have all Dawns open, okay? You have all your Dawns open. If you go 5 first, then you can play Shura and use some of your Dawns after, right? In this case, you have to Marmarangan first the Nami, but it doesn't matter, right? Because you can still go Shura, 3 Dawn, 5, minus leader effect, all on an L and swing. No, you don't attach any Dawn, bro. You don't attach any Dawn. Where do you attach the Dawn? You go 5. You don't attach. You don't attach any Dawn. You go 5k with leader. Where do you attach the Dawn? You only attach Dawn on the NL after leader effect. So the Dawns you attach on the NL is after the Shura. I mean, I'll show it, okay? So, okay? There is a bird. There is a bird, okay, with 2 eyes. This is Shura. Yes? This bird. We draw the bird, Shura. This card is Shura. This is the bird. I go 5k leader. Okay? I still have all these Dawns open. Okay? Then I tap 1 Dawn, and I play Shura. This bird is here now. This bird is here. 2k bird. Then I put 3 Dawns on the Shura. Okay? And I go 5k. And then I minus my Dawns. And then I use leader effect and put all the Dawns on this NL here. And I go 17. So if they went charlstone on the 5k with leader, then I ask them 1 more card with the bird, with the Shura. After. Yes, because I don't have to use any dawns if I'm gonna go 5k. You don't attach any dawns. You only attach the dawns after the leader effect. With the leader effect, you attach the dawns. The power of going 5k here is that you don't use anything. You have all full access. Bro, forget the Marmaragan here, bro. Forget it. That's not the fucking point. You attach the dawn to the first one. You don't attach anything. No, you swing with leader first. Not you too, Feno, please. You swing with this first. You don't attach any dawns. Right? No, but he asked if we attach after. Yes, forget this for now, bro. That's not the fucking point, bro. I was trying to explain to him. How the dawn works. So you go Marmaragan, 5, Shura, Dawns, 5, leader, attach, face. Okay? You know I can ban you instantly on the spot, Maciek, right? Because in this case, my point is, this case, we drew the spell. You see? Where is it? We drew this spell. That's why I'm saying you don't, you need to wait. You don't have to Marmaragan first, right? Oh, yeah, exactly. No, yeah. Feno, then you got the full point, right? You draw the spell. Now you don't Marmaraga anymore. You buff and pop. So you don't need to waste these 2 dawns. Okay. Good. What happens here? How would you attack if instead we had 7k leader, 10k, 12k body, and 2 searchers, 10 dawn, 5 cards in hand, and open dawn? I will just ignore this message because I will ban you otherwise. M. Laden. Okay? So, what happens here? So, he is... What can he do? Yeah? So, we can go. We have... Wait, what? Wait, I stopped it during leader effect, right? We have more dawns. Yeah. Oops. We have more dawns. I was like, what? He would never win like that. So, we have... Are you here? Yeah? So, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 dawn. So, we go 7k life. What do they do? What do they do? GP is very good now, I think. What do they do? Effect 1k. Okay. So dawn 1k. Or 2 dawns, you're saying, right? Or okay, so they have the brook and they go 2 dawns, right? Then we go 7k, then we go dawn or leader, 1 dawn, 7k life for 7. What do they do? Nach, they take in best case. I don't care what the best case is, bro. We're not playing the best case here. They take. Okay, they take. They have 2 cards in hand. And now we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 down on the pudding. 13k. Life. What do? They have 2 dawns. And we go on 13k life. They died, right? They take 3 cards. Brook effect and tap 13 again. And now they need to have 2k in life to survive. Yeah? So you lost. The person who said take, you lost. If this is not 2k, you lost. Brock can't swing, but he can use effect to untap this pudding for 13. Okay, so they counter the first 7, and they counter the second, you said, right? So don, right? Then we go 2 dons here, 2 dons on this pudding, 9k here, Brook, 9k here. And now we kill both Sanjis, because they only have 1 card in hand. Do you see how much better this is? If they take one of the 7s, we kill them. If they counter both 7s, we kill 2 Sanjis. If we knew about Brook. There was a Brook in play, yes. There is a Brook in play. Because for some reason he played the Brook first, okay? Let's not talk about the fact that he played the Brook after. Right? So if they take life, if you take one of the 7s, you kill them. If they counter both 7s, you kill 2 Sanjis. What did we do? We went... Look at this. We went 11. We thought 10 minutes. We went 11. And at the end, we didn't even take a life. And we only killed 1 Sanji. And we lose the Brook. So not only did he never have a chance to kill them, he also only killed 1 Sanji. So the way you attack matters a lot. Like the order where you attack matters a lot. Like why would you swing the big hit first? If we go first life, they have to respect dying. So they have to counter this 7. This 7 on 5, okay? They have to respect it. They don't have to defend the 7k. They have to defend the 5k. Perfect. So, I was talking about this spot, right? So, you go 12, what do they do? Okay? You go 12, what do they do? Block. Yeah? Then you go 12, what do they do? Yeah, they took the life from Zoro. They took this life. Then you go 12, and they block. Now you go 12 again. Block. Then you go 6k. What do they do? Dawn. Now 16. You win. All 10 dawn. 16 with leader. You win. Yeah? Do you understand now? Mm-mm. I remember you explained the RG Luffy. And why this matters is because they only have 2 Dawn. So if they go double Charlstone here, right? They don't have leader Dawn anymore. So he goes Charlstone, Charlstone. He dies. So it's literally guaranteed lethal. Because you can overload them. You can overload them on the fact that they can't. 16, 6, 6, you lose for sure, yes. 16 first makes no sense, right? Because they will go counter, counter, and leave 3 Dawn open to counter your 2 6s after. It's very complicated, the math against Luffy. But you have to use the fact that they cannot use Charlstone and leader at the same turn. Yeah? Do you understand this, chat? Does this make sense, chat? We do it one more time. One last time. One last time, okay? 12 life. They block. 12 life. They block. 6 life. They use Dawn. Yeah? And then 16. And it's guaranteed. But it's such a small chance. Technically, 3 Charlstone win. How do they 3 Charlstone, bro? You know Charlstone pitches a card, right? This is 2 Charlstones. Do you think NL should run Vari? I don't know what Vari is. Yeah, is this clear? Does anybody not understand this? It's the event that +4 and top 3 Dawn. +4 and top 3 Dawn is Charlstone. If he 2Ks the first Marco, you go 6 again, yes. If he 2Ks this for some reason, you go 6 again, and then 16. No, he does not need one more card for the last 6. He does not, because he gets the 3 Dawns from the Charlstone. The last 6 does nothing. He does not need another 2k for the 6 after, because he will have 3 Dawns open from the last Charlstone. So your attacks after the big hit don't do anything. He will still need one more card for the last Marco 6. No, he does not. Because if he goes Dawn, right, and you go another 6, he will play Charlstone and untap 3 Dawns. But the +2 event, Vari, is really good. Yes, I like it. It's also one of the events that you want to cycle early, you know? But yeah. Anyway, this is enough. I think this is good enough for now. I just wanted to explain to you how you should attack them.